welcome to another episode of Diary of a Wannabe Comedian with me, Belle, a wannabe comedian. I went to the cinema to see Wolverine and Deadpool, or is it Deadpool and Wolverine? It was so good. I really enjoyed it. I know it's divided the crowd, but I enjoyed it because it's cheesy. And I love all the meta stuff and breaking the fourth wall. That is a bit of me. I really enjoyed it. The opening credits alone are worth seeing that movie. And I will definitely be seeing that movie again. I actually have a couple of friends that want to see it. So I can envisage me seeing it 3 times, to be honest. I will go and see it again with these friends. The other movie I went to see was Longlegs. I think it's called Longlegs, with Nicolas Cage. Now, Nicolas Cage is doing some weird... Do you know, I think he's the Michael Caine of the modern day. Because Michael Caine openly said he just made any film just to make money. I'm not saying that Nicolas Cage just makes films to make money. I'm sure he doesn't need to because he's got a lot of money. But it does feel like he's just making any movie. Although there's a little bit of me that thinks perhaps he's making these movies because he's trying to make a cult 80s movie. That's the only way I can describe it. So he's trying to do that in 2024. So I wasn't a massive fan of Longlegs. I'm not sure I got it, but perhaps I wasn't paying attention. What I did pay attention to, though, because I've never seen it before, is the end credits. So I talk about the opening credits of Wolverine and Deadpool Wolverine, and the closing credits of Longlegs. And that's because they went the opposite way. So credits go, what do? They go from the bottom to the top, don't they? Yeah, so in Longlegs, they went from the top to the bottom, and I've never seen that before. I was mesmerised. Simple things, huh? So I also went to see a friend record their podcast. Yes, I've been unfaithful. So my friend Jim does a podcast with his friend, and it's called Pitch It Good. And he basically gets comedians on to pitch a movie. But the one that we went to see on Saturday was just pure silliness from start to finish. It was a comedian called Luke. Can't remember his surname. Oh, that's terrible. I do know him a little bit. Not really well, but I've definitely seen him quite a lot. And I follow him on Instagram, so I must have met him at some point in my comedy career. But he was just, I don't know where that stuff comes from. He made up such random stuff. But there you are. That was Saturday, and I honestly laughed from start to finish. It was so funny. You could obviously listen to the recorded version. That'll be out at some point today, I think. Anyway, Pitch It Good. And then yesterday, I had a gig in Windsor. And it went extremely well, which was quite surprising because there were supposed to be 9 comedians and 4 dropped out. So there was just the 5 of us hang on, let me add up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, because the producer of the night stepped in and also did her Edinburgh Fringe show because there was lots of time. But I went on first because she said, will you go on first? And at that point, there was only 4 members of genuine audience. And they were just brilliant. Honestly, you don't need a full room when you have audience members as good as these. There was 2 in particular, Holly and Dave. Big shout out. They won't be listening, I'm sure. But they were just brilliant. They were really up for it, up for a good laugh. They were from Oxford and they were just having a weekend away. And they were just brilliant. I tried a new bit of material up front and it just went down a storm. So it was like magical. And then afterwards, the producer's husband just said they're sorting out dates next year for their paid gigs. And he said, I'm definitely on that list to do some. So what about that, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between? I am potentially going to get more paid gigs next year. I was really chuffed, very flattered and excited and all of that. I mean, it's just amazing. Now I'm off to Kent and I'm doing a gig. This one scares me. I'm doing a gig in my hometown, in the Medway towns. I don't know how that's going to go down. And also, my mother's going to be watching because she's got to give me a lift. Much love and gratitude.